Vincent, are you there, man?
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, man. Pleasure to have you on, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's a blessing.
Yeah, man. I mean, last time you were on the show, you were known as Vincenzo, and you were part of the Pathway movement. But obviously, times have changed, and now you've moved on. Now you're Vincent Tesoro. So what happened, man? Why did you leave Pathway movement, and why the name change?
Okay, we'll start with the name change because that happened first.
Yeah.
I was Vincenzo, and for copyright reasons, I had to change it because I put out a single, and it went under somebody else named Vincenzo. And there's a few Vincenzos around the world, quite a few actually. I decided to change my name a month and a half before release of the album, and it was very, very stressful. I remember sitting at the table getting coffee with my mother and my girlfriend. Her maiden name is Tesoro. She said, "Why don't you call yourself Vincent Tesoro?" My jaw dropped, and I thought it was a great idea. It's in honor of my uncle, died before I was born, who I was named after, Vincent Tesoro. So I thought it was a good way to continue his legacy, pay homage, because he was like a guardian angel to me.
Yeah, man. That sounds like a good idea, man.
Yeah, and with Pathway Movement, I had a conversation with Pat. He gave me a call, and he said how great of a job I've been doing in my career with my music and ministry, and I've been doing a lot on my own for a while, and I've just been pressing forward every single day, working harder and harder each day, sharpening my skills. And he said to me, I don't want to hold you back. I hope you spread your wings and do something on your own, whether that may be starting a label or whatever it may be. So I just kind of took that opportunity and ran with it. We're all kind of taking different lanes right now, so we figured it was the best for me to move on my own, have them do what they do, and have me do what I do. And, we're still great friends, and I love them to death. And I'm very thankful and humbled by Pat's response from the Holy Spirit by telling me that, we were all kind of feeling it, that I was going in a different direction, which is okay because that was God's purpose.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That you would even say that. So that's pretty cool. So I mean, obviously that's. I presume then, like, you're still cool with them, and like they're still kind of like family, right?
Yeah, they'll always be family, and I'll always be in the ministry when we have things going on, church events, and when it's Pathway, I'll be there to serve. That won't stop.
Yeah, man. I mean, who knows? I mean, you might continue. You could still work with them in the future, couldn't you?
Yeah, of course. I love working with them. Me and Pat usually work the most together, and he has a couple songs on this album, and they just came out incredible. He's always pushed me to my highest potential, beyond my potential. I thank him for that, and he's always gave me wisdom and been a mentor to me along the years. And I even called him before this interview for prayer.
Yeah, I did see.
Be a mentor still.
Yeah, I did see. He shared the thing actually for HopeJamz page. So that's good, man. That's great that he's got you, man. He's thinking about you, because obviously so many people in this day and age, they fall out with people and stuff like that. So it's great that you're still brothers and you're still supporting each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah, there was no fallout. There's no bad blood. It's just for the best, for me and for them.
Yeah, man. I mean, these 3 tracks, let's move on to the music, man, because these 3 tracks that you share with me, obviously I've had the privilege of listening to them before I air them, and they just sound really good, man. Your other tracks, as part of Pathway Movement, or even as a single artist, when you were Vincenzo, they were really good tracks. But this is like something else, man. It does seem like you've moved up a notch, like you've gone to a different level with this new tracks. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, that's the whole point. When I changed the name, I felt like I was reinventing myself into a new artist, because I've worked so hard to be that artist, and I finally became it. And sometimes, a name switch, just like changing your clothes, can give you the best of confidence.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's an amazing thing. And then, so what is the new project going to be about exactly? Obviously, it's the name of it is kind of says something, but can you kind of go in depth on it?
So it's a worldly heaven. It'll be coming out next Friday, October 13th. There's a battle going on in this world between heaven and hell, between angels and demons. And my goal is to reach heaven. That's my ultimate goal for my life.
Yeah.
I'm not even here to make friends. I'm here to do what God called me to do, which is to love people. Don't get me wrong. He said love your neighbor as you love yourself, and I stand by that. But my ultimate goal is to do his will to get into heaven. And I believe that we can feel the presence of heaven, the presence of God here on earth. And I realize that it's deep inside of our heart where we feel that love that comes from God. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I feel like no one can take that away from you. When you stand strong, stand against the enemy, believe in God and your higher power, that you can have heaven on earth, and no one can take that from you.
Yeah, man. That's dope, man. So you got that mentality to put it into the music, obviously. And so, what would you say about this? Because it's going to be an album, isn't it? So, what would you say this album is going to mean for you personally? Like, is this going to be a start of like a new you in the eyes of your music?
Yeah, it's a fresh start, no pun intended. As Vincenzo, I had an EP, my first EP, after I overdosed and God brought me back to life, was called Fresh Start. And I never thought that he would give me another fresh start, but that's what he did. Gave me another fresh start by becoming Vincent Tesoro, by shaping me into the artist that he wants me to be. And I believe that artist is going to be successful. And it's not just by the things that people say, but I truly believe that we can see miracles right here on earth. And I've witnessed them myself. It's breathtaking. It's amazing what can happen when God is in your life.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, if you really live that life, and like you said, you're not even here to make friends. It's just, it's just the way it's going to be. You're going to do whatever God tells you to do, kind of thing, aren't you?
Yeah, and I've been labeled a hypocrite. I've been called names. And it causes you to stumble sometimes. But you look beyond that, and you just kind of feel that closure that only God can give you. And he speaks to you and shows you what he wants you to do in your life and what his purpose is for you. All the other distractions and anxieties and worries of the world just seem to fade away at the wayside.
Yeah, it's true, man. So, I mean, since you fell out, you know what I'm saying, since you stopped with Pathway Movement, are you still living in the same area?
Yeah, I'm still in the same area, Taunton, Massachusetts. I've been continuing my education. Last time we talked, I was in my first semester at UMass Boston going for addiction counseling, and now I'm actually back at my second semester, and I'm doing an internship in Plymouth, Mass. for addiction counseling.
Yeah, man. So what, you actually gonna, you crack on with that? Your addiction before, I can't remember if we spoke about it, and do you feel comfortable speaking about it now, but can you tell us what it was exactly?
It was an addiction to drugs. I have an impulse. I have problems with impulse, and I was going through a really dark time with my mother and her mental illness, and I fell into drugs. I used that as an escape, and sooner or later, I ended up overdosing, and I woke up with nurses and doctors around me. My best friend was there. They rushed me to the hospital, and I woke up with an oxygen tank on my face. I heard that I was given a fresh start. So I decided to truly devote myself to God and to other people that need that kind of help for recovery, because he saved me. So the least I can do is repay the favor by trying to save others around me.
And how do you feel it's going now then? Do you feel like much stronger from that?
Yeah, it's a everyday battle. You feel strong at sometimes, and then you get busy, and it's hard to kind of soak it all in. But I've been noticing, even though I've been busy every single day doing something, whether it's work, whether it's the internship, or it's the music, or finding time for my family and God, when I try to soak it in, But even if I don't have that time, I start to realize that God is shaping my character and building me into the man that I'm supposed to be. So it's hard to find that time to really reflect on it. But when I do notice that I am moving forward. I am on the right path, and I'm not perfect by any means, but I do want the best for all people around me, and I care for all my friends and family and anybody that supports me and anybody in this world, people that hate me. I still, try to go by God's word and forgive them, love them, and it's not as easy as people pretend and, say that it is, because it's not.
Oh man, I want to jump into the next record, bro. The next one is called Miracles, man, and it features Jake Miguel. Can you tell us a bit about that one?
Yeah, it's partially about God's miracles. It's the way you look at life. Everything's about your perspective, and you could see something. You could see a disaster in your life in the midst of the storm. You could look through it, and you can really see the bright side of the story. And when we go through these obstacles in our life, we realize that every day can be a miracle if we believe it, if we change our perspective and stay positive and, continue to have love in our heart. And we're built up. We're filled up by the Spirit of God that every day can be a miracle.
Blessed just to live another day with you. Oh no, I can't explain it, but I'll start off just by thanking you. Your love is infinite, let's make this moment intimate. We take this life for granted, but why don't we try living it? It's so simple that it's difficult to comprehend. It's not uncommon to be following the modern man, but that's the worldly ways, and we were born to praise the one and only God that has saved us from this human plague. I seen a difference in myself and started making one. What a world we live in, but listen, he only gave us one. Not too late to appreciate, that's the rule of thumb. The enemy defeated already because the ruler won. Your love sufficient, pain and struggles I will overcome, and it's a miracle that you got me overdone. The same as yesterday, and you will never change, and some may never either until the day you come. Today is a miracle, pray for the day that we say that the pain is gone. Today is a miracle, not even heaven knows the day that you will take us home. Today is a miracle, saved by the grace that he gave 2,000 years ago. Today is a miracle. Today is a miracle.
They need a sign like the Pharisees, but honestly, your word is enough for me to believe in the unseen. They say that you're dead, but it's far from the truth. Blessed are those who believe without needing the proof. Yeah, there's more believers than Christians, and that's an issue, cause we're supposed to follow the one who came to our rescue, right? Your grace is the reason we're still alive, cause if you placed your full wrath upon us, who could survive, huh? None. The day of judgment is approaching us, and no excuses found worthy because you work with us. Our deepest secrets will come to light when you line us up, and condemn to deny us because the time is up, over. That's why it's crucial to deny myself, cause there is no eternal benefits in finding wealth. Now, if we deny you, then you'll do the same, and the only way to see you is to truly change. Obey.
Today is a miracle, pray for the day that we say that the pain is gone. Today is a miracle, not even heaven knows the day that you will take us home. Today is a miracle, saved by the grace that he gave 2,000 years ago. Today is a miracle. Today is a miracle. Romans 8:1, we're free from condemnation. I fall into temptation, but then I'm reading Galatians. The seduction in my eye is just desires. It's amazing how he finds us in a world full of deniers. Seek the kingdom first and everything will follow. I see heaven on earth, but we could all go tomorrow. So when you see the change, then you can believe in it. Well, even demons have faith and know who Jesus is. I wanna live in your light. Why do I do wrong when I wanna do right? I pray you take it away. It's a miracle just to live a day in your grace. Oh, I pray the blind will see. The way we fight against each other is a rivalry. That's right. When it's your time to speak, it'll be a miracle for those alive to see. Today is a miracle. Pray for the day that we say that the pain is gone. Today is a miracle. Not even heaven knows the day that you will take us home. Today is a miracle. Saved by the grace that He gave 2,000 years ago. Today is a miracle. Today is a miracle.